Good afternoon, welcome to day 85 of my Munros challenge. Today I'm walking route 109. It's just stopped raining, it's still drizzly a bit, but just stopped raining. Been raining all morning. I've only just got dry from yesterday. So one Munros today, this afternoon. Sgor na h-Ulaidh, which is the peak of the treasure. I'm parked in a lay-by just outside Glencoe. I'm going to walk down the road for a little bit before I hang a left and head up the glen. Yes, we're off the roadside now. We're heading up this little private road, heading up the glen. What a fabulous backdrop. I'm so looking forward to Glencoe. The ridge over there, I know my Gaelic is going to go out all wrong here. h-Ulaidh ridge, I believe, is going to be my penultimate day in the Munros. I think I'm scheduled to walk that on July the 15th. Obviously my last day is July 17, Ben Lomond. I'm saving that one to the very end because it is this ridge, because it is spectacular. Plus I can't really take Stan up there, so I'll need a dog sitter for the day and I'll have company. So we're following this private road. Now just after that copse of trees I'm expecting to see a left turn over the burn and pick up a stalker's path. Yeah, this is the track that I've been looking for. Very faint, just after the copse of trees. So we're back on a Land Rover track. The stalker's path just bypassed the farmstead. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to head up the glen, past some trees, and then we're going to hang a left and follow the burn up the glen over there before we go pathless and head up to the Beelach. That's the plan. So there we go, first view of the top. Wow, isn't that imposing? So the plan is to follow this stalker's path, side of the burn. We're probably about 1 kilometre. We're going to hang a left up to the Beelach, which you can't quite see. Then we're going to climb up to that grassy green top, which is Stoban Ferran. Then we're going to follow the ridge line and make our way up to the summit. Then I'm going to retrace my steps and come back home. Isn't that an awesome looking sight? Wow, we're much closer now. Very imposing. So I'm going to follow the burn for a bit more. That's the point there, the low point on the horizon that we're going to head up to. Like I said, I'll follow the burn a bit longer and then I'll hang a left, pathless, up to the Beelach up there. Now, the map shows this path running out just round the corner. Now, I'd intended turning left when it ran out, but this seems like a decent enough spot. So I'm going to zigzag up to the low point up there, the Beelach. And it's pathless, looks hard work. Although it's pathless, I'm making reasonably good progress. It's not too difficult underfoot. If I said it was easy going earlier, I take it back. It's been hard going, really hard work. So, like I say, it's pathless down to the valley bottom. Now then, on the horizon up there, there's a big pile of stones. I'm hoping that's a cairn at the Beelach. Be nice. Wow, wow. So I made it to the top of the grassy slope, so I'm going to head this way now. What do you reckon, Stan? Enjoy that? It's quite steep, this next bit, but there is a faint path weaving its way up through all these rocks. As you can see, Stan weaving up the path ahead, demonstrating. But I say it's very rocky, very steep. Yes, as I say, this is Stoban Ferran. So 968 metres, so high enough for a Munros, but not a Munros. This is a top en route. So there's a real Munro over there. Sgor na h-Ulaidh. Wow, that looks impressive, doesn't it? Do you know, I'm just taking a quick view, have a look around before I drop and climb up to the top. And I've just seen Ben Nevis. Gosh, it's mighty, isn't it? So we're at the start of the final ascent. You see the path zigzagging up through the rough rock. Goes around the back and then up to the top. Just bumped into a couple of people. They're telling me later on today 60-mile-an-hour winds forecast. So better not hang around up here. So here we are, Sgor na h-Ulaidh. Wow, look at that, Ben Nevis as a backdrop. Isn't that perfect? Wow. What a view. What a view. So I'm just dropping down this zigzag path. It's very steep. Good job they put a path in to help you down. So I'm back up at this other top. You have no idea why that's not a Munro. It felt like that climb up there felt big enough to me. I'm not the committee, so it's not. Just looking across at that ridge that I'm not going to take a stand on. It does look awesome. 15th of July, that one. Anyway, let's get down. So I'm at the top of the very, very steep grassy pathless bank. Head down towards that burn and pick up the Stalker's Path. That's the plan. I've picked a different route coming down and I'm following the side of this this burn, there seems to be like footstep marks coming down, so possibly this is where most of the people have chose to come down as well. So I'm actually at the end of this Stalker's Path, and that's the burn that I've followed coming down, and I would say it's far easier that than the route I took, which was maybe only, well, I think I went up the side of that scar over there and across. Either way, it'll be hard either way. It's hard work going up there. So back on this Stalker's track, I'm going to follow it now all the way around, pick up the Land Rover track back to the car. Hi, welcome to day 85 of my Munro challenge. Today I walked route number 109, or should I say this afternoon I walked 109 once the rain had stopped. It's Wednesday the 18th of May and I parked in the lay-by just outside Glencoe. Sgor na h-Ulaidh. What a fabulous mountain. Very, very shapely and awesome looking, I'd say. The route started very, very steadily up a private road, then a Land Rover track, then a Stalker's Path, and you're thinking it's going to be a pretty steady day today, and then all of a sudden it starts. After the Stalker's Path, you've got to, or the route I chose to take was to go up a very, very, very steep, pathless, grassy ascent up to a Belak. And I zigged and zagged and tried to make my way up as best I could, following various dry burns and whatnot, and made my way up to the Belak. So it's over 500 metres this ascent, because the Belak's at around about 800, and I think the path starts at around about 350. So it's a fair climb. And when you're at the Belak, it doesn't finish. You end up then on a very rugged, rocky ascent to the summit of Stob an Farain, which is up at 968 metres. With it just being a top and not a Munro, I expected the drop down to be insignificant really before the climb up to Sgor and h-Ulaidh, but it's quite a steep drop. It feels a significant drop down, and equally rocky and rugged as the other side. So then you're at the bottom and you're faced with a very steep rocky side to Sgor and h-Ulaidh, but there is a path which zigs and zags all the way up and does take a lot of the steepness and gradient away. What a Munro. You get to see Ben Nevis in all its glory, all the various ridges around up Glencoe. Fabulous top. Very steep at the top. The path works its way around the back to avoid various drops and cliffs. So then you retrace your steps and you drop back down into the dip, if you like, and you're faced with the climb back up Stobban Forain, and I'm not sure why it's not a Munro really, because I'm sure I've been between Munros and dropped down to various Belaks far less than that. Don't know how it all works, but there you go. And then I just effectively retrace my steps, apart from when I dropped down the steep grassy rocky at the top bank. I picked up a burn and ended up following the burn, which was absolutely fabulous. It was much more direct. There were faint footsteps and in and out of a path pretty much all the way down to the burn, which became more distinct towards the bottom. And then you pick up a track at the bottom and eventually a cairn at the Stalker's Path telling you this is the way up. Now honestly, I bet I turned off 50 metres before that cairn to make my own way up, and looking at my Strava, it probably cost me 3/4 of a mile in the way I meandered my way up, but never mind. The day was 10 miles, just under. It took me just over 6 hours, and there's 3,799 feet of ascent.